Hi, how's it going? Today a cold day here at the city of São Paulo, and today we are going to talk about some important information about the sheets, Brazilian sheets. If you are searching sheets to play and improvise in Brazilian music, I think this live is gonna be important for you. This is a question I often receive from my students, and there are many different answers about it. Alright? One of the first questions I received was about piano sheets for Brazilian music. And piano sheets are very complicated to find. And when you find, there are lots of bad quality piano sheets. And why does this happen? Because when you are joining the melody with the bass part and the harmony part, sometimes this lead sheet is gonna be too difficult for popular musicians read and to read well, and the classical musicians won't play with the real swing, because they don't know, most of them don't know the real language of Brazilian music. So this is one aspect that people doesn't do many lead sheets for piano. There are some you can find one and another that are arrangements of another pianists. Often the composers of Brazilian music don't write the sheets. So when you find one with the two clefs, you're gonna find made from another composer or another musician. And often this lead sheets has some mistakes of harmony or some simplification, and I don't recommend to search for piano sheets for the playing Brazilian music. Alright, I am not one I would recommend. If I would just recommend to search piano sheets in Brazilian music if you are playing the older songs, like Ernesto's Nazaré songs or Chiquinha Gonzaga, because they composed in a period that there wasn't easy conditions to record, so they wrote all the notes, all the details. Alright, to start reading with two clefs in Brazilian music, I recommend Chiquinha Gonzaga. It's a little easier to read. If you have some difficulty with the Brazilian names, just write for me in the comments what name do you want. I send you written. Alright, so Chiquinha Gonzaga and Zequinha de Abreu are sure composers. You're gonna find the piano sheets really well written. I think also Radamés Natalie, that was a classical composer, he also made good sheets of his and scores of his works. Alright, and I told you about the difference, why do they don't write, and I read this information when they published one that I consider one of the best one of the best sheets of the music of Tom Jobim. This is the collection called Concionero. It has 5 volumes, alright? And in this 5 volumes, you're gonna find the 2 clefs, treble clef and bass clef. But if you realize, we're gonna find simple information in the bass clef, because they created the 2 clefs just to help musicians to know the structure of the chords. They put this for people that doesn't have knowledge in the how to spread the voice, how to open the voice in a chord, or for some specific parts of the song. So the rhythmic part still belongs to you, and if you don't have the necessary knowledge to do this, I recommend the Brazilian Accent Improvisation channel, where I talk about the different aspects that you need to play Brazilian music. So I think Concionero, it's a good reference to play the Brazilian songs, but it's not complete. So you have to research by yourself, and you can find information here, like I said, but the quality of the information is very good. So Concionero, we don't have of many authors. We have Jobim's Concionero. That is the Concionero of Chico Buarque also. That is the Concionero of Vinícius de Moraes, because Vinícius de Moraes was Jobim's partner in many compositions, but he was partner of almost all great composers, Brazilian composers of the period he was living. So I think there are 3 volumes of these Concioneros. Alright? So I think it's very recommended. I remind one more of the composer Moacir Santos. There is one songbook that is at the same it's similar to the Concionero, very well written. And Moacir Santos, if you don't know, was a composer that took the Afro rhythms and mixture with the Brazilian popular music of his period. Baden Powell was one of his students. What else more? There is another important collection, not as complete as the Concionero, but it has many authors, many composers. It's this collection that's called Songbook. This Songbook collection started with this book of Bossa Nova. We have 5 volumes of Bossa Nova, and it's very interesting because you have all the important melodies in Bossa Nova. And after that they started to create the songbooks of the composers. There is one of Jobim's also from this collection. I don't think it's so completed as the Concionero, like I said, but they have there are 3 volumes, and I think they were reviewed by Tom Jobim, but I prefer Concionero if I give in my opinion. But there are so many different authors that and This is a collection of the Almir Shediak. Let me show the name, it's inverted here, but Almir Shediak. This collection, I think it exists still today. Unfortunately, Almir Shediak died in a there was some crime he suffered. He was murdered, unfortunately, but he contributed a lot for Brazilian music because we didn't have registers of these musics to the musicians play, and he has done this. And another interesting thing about the songbooks that Almir Shediak made CDs calling different artists to make different interpretations of the Brazilian classics. And talking about more about the Brazilian the songbooks of Almir Shediak, there is one collection that's called the 101 Brazilian songs, popular songs, that has a very interesting and good selection of the sheets with melody and chords of the most important composers, old ones and modern ones, of different styles as bossa nova. We have the samba canção, we have older sambas, also the MPB that we call MPB, the Brazilian popular music that's a more modern one, with Chico Buarque, Edu Lobo, Caetano Veloso. And there is songbooks of Almir Shediak's songbooks of all the most important composers of Brazilian music, like Djavan, Caetano Veloso, Ivan Lins, João Bosco. What else do they have? They have some composers of rock also, like Cazuza. Let me remind more. There is a lot of them. Search for Songbook Almir Shediak. You're gonna find many information, and there is some news after the death of Almir Shediak, like Luiz Gonzaga. Luiz Gonzaga, for who doesn't know, is the king of Baião. Toquinho, that is an important composer that's still alive doing songs, and he was partners of Vinicius de Moraes' partner also in a lot of compositions. What else? If I remind some more, but I think most of the composers are in this collection songbook. Some critics about that. The main advantage is it's very complete, and a little critic that I would do, there are missing some introductions of the songs. Mainly on the older ones, and sometimes we find one wrong chord or another. But I still recommend, because I think it's a good way to know the main songs of each composer. Some time ago, I created some Spotify lists where I could hear and know more. I took the songs of Almir Shediak's collection and made one list to learn and read together. Alright? So that's it about Almir Shediak. I remind one important that is not here. Let me take here. if you want to know about the songs of Minas Gerais, we have the songbook. I think it's independent, of Milton Nascimento. It's made by Wilson Lopes, production Barra Lima. This songbook is very good, about the music of the Minas Gerais. The chords were revised by a musician that played with Milton Nascimento. It's very good in quality, and I think there are more volumes of the other composers of Minas, like Flávio Venturini, Lô Borges, and others. I don't know how many volumes that this have, because this is recent. It's not old collection, and it's very detailed. It's chords and melody, but it has the introductions, and it has some important details, some bass lines. This helps a lot. All right. One I would like to say to you that's interesting also is the Brazilian Real Book. The Brazilian Real Book, I think, I don't remember who produced it, but I don't have here, but I think it was produced by Brazilian musicians. In some music there is the bass part, or some tip of bass line and a rhythmic part, and this is very interesting, because when you're playing Brazilian music, if you just take one lead sheet, you won't find the necessary information to play the song, because sometimes it's not written the style, it's not written how to accompany it. And I like this way of doing the things, because, for example, Milton Nascimento and the composers of Minas Gerais has, in many compositions, they have very specific grooves, grooves that are from unknown styles or invented grooves. And sometimes when they think it's necessary, they put, for example, as in this part, we have the groove in another clef. It's to help you understand better the music. Oh, alright, so you have chords written, but you have this when they have a specific bass line or a specific groove, they are going to put. And I think in Brazilian Real Book, this can be found. Another interesting book, I don't know many formal books of the music of Hermeto Pascoal for researching, but there is one very interesting book that's called Calendário do Som. Calendário do Som, it's a book with Hermeto Pascoal composed one music per day. He started to make in 23 of July of 1996 and ended in the next year during 357 365 compositions. This is an important book about Hermeto Pascoal. Hermeto has different kinds of ways of writing the chords. They are written by hand, and if you want to know more about the way you have to read the chords of Hermeto Pascoal, just write for me, because he thinks the chords in a different way. He created his own way of writing them. So you're gonna find some different things about the if you try to read in the if you try to sight read the sheets of Hermeto Pascoal. So I think these are the main collections. There are some independent collections also, like recently the composer Toninho Horta has done a book of his songs. That is Toninho Horta is a composer from Minas Gerais with very rich harmonies, and it's very interesting sounds. And there is one of Heraldo do Monte. Heraldo do Monte, it's a guitar player that is connected with the Northeast Brazilian music and modern music also. He created an independent songbook. There is another very well done songbook of the composer Edu Lobo. It's the same like Concionero, very complete. There are 2 volumes. They have the 2 clefs, but one of the clefs is sometimes to show the specific bass lines, and sometimes help with the structure of the chords, but has introductions. It has the chords, and so I think these are the main songbooks. If you wanna ask some specific songbook, just write for me. I received a question of Ernest Gilden, asking me about the song Baden-Powell's songbook. That is, I don't know here in Brazil we don't have a Baden-Powell songbook, but I know that there is some music that you can find in the songbooks by Vinicius de Moraes, because he has done a lot of music together with Vinicius. So you can find some in the songbook of Vinicius de Moraes, Concionero. You have 2, the Concionero, that I call the more complete, and the songbook by Almir Shediac of Vinicius de Moraes. And I know that there is in internet some transcriptions of his works in the guitar. So you're gonna find the complete sheets for guitar. Alright, I think that is not chords written. So if you want to see chords, ask for songbooks. If not, just search for this songbook. Very interesting question. Thanks for the question. Brazilian music at the real book. That is some Brazilian. You can find some Jobins and Luiz Bonfá also. Luiz Bonfá has the composition Manhã de Carnaval, that's called in English Black Orpheus. It's on the real book. It's true. It's the truth. You can find, I know in real book you can find Wave. You can find the Girl from Ipanema. The Little Boat is o barquinho. How Insensitive. What else does we find in real book? And Desafinado. Desafinado, be careful with this sheet, because if you take a older real book, the lead sheet has one system missing, some measures are missing, and if you don't know exactly the song, you're gonna be able to play without realizing that's wrong. It's missing some part of the song. So be careful when playing desafinado from the real book. All right. I think I always prefer to take from Brazilian editors, because sometimes they revise the chords, and real book it's old publishing, but there is something you can find there. Real book it's okay, and I prefer, like I said, the Brazilian real book. It's different from the original real book. Let me think. There is something more. Where you can find this? I don't know if they are selling this. I don't know if they are selling the songbooks in all over the world, but I know one place here in Brazil that exports the books, and I recommend the store, the Freenote store. Okay, to find Freenote is the address is freenote.com.br, BR from Brazil. All right, you can make you can have the they deliver in I think all over the world. It's if you want to know more, I can contact I know I have a friend inside Freenote. Zach Carlos is a very friend of mine, and I can give you tips of how to buy these books with him. All right, he has everything there. Watch the site Freenote, and you're gonna find a lot of interesting books and sheets, Brazilian sheets. All right. What else? Do you have any questions? Yes, I recommend you to learn the system of chords. If you just read music as a classical musician, it's gonna be difficult to play Brazilian music with language. All right, we don't have besides the classical music and some choros. If you don't have the understanding of the chords to play with the real accents, understanding the different grooves, understanding the essence of the compositions by the chords, it will be more difficult to play Brazilian music in a good way, well played Brazilian music. All right, and do you have some questions more? And this is also a problem. It's very difficult to find this information. So that's why I'm creating this channel, because people has a lot of doubts. They don't find books about it, or they don't know where to find. And I'm trying to do this. I did this live today to help people where to find the complete information to make your process of studying music, Brazilian music. For me, it was very difficult, because I started many years ago, and we didn't have here in Brazil many lead sheets, many information. So when we wanted to learn something, we had to learn by ear, and there were some I don't know in your instrument, but in piano there are some things that you do that it is important to see what's the fingering or what hand is being used, because sometimes you hear something, you think the pianist used one hand to do it and he's using another, and mainly in the grooves it's difficult to recognize, and we don't have many good information about it in English at the internet. So this channel is a way to create this. Songbooks about choro. Alright. That is a Pixinguinha songbook that it's very very complete. It has more than 100 songs, I think. I don't it's not here, but it's just chords and melodies. Alright. We also have another collection. Let me take it. It's being put this collection. I think it started on the States. It's called Classics of Brazilian Choro. In this collection, you're gonna find the play-alongs with choro musicians playing. It's very good to take the language and to have the opportunity to improvise at the themes. Alright. There are lead sheets on the C and B flat and E flat also, and they have different lead sheets of different composers, a lot of them of composers of choro. And one interesting thing that's they have the good musicians from São Paulo and from Rio de Janeiro playing choro songs, and the new composers are there is the songbook of new composers also, or recent compositions. The last one I think it's Isaías, that is a mandolinist, and he plays choro here in São Paulo, and they created one songbook of his compositions. This songbooks has the chords and melody, and it has also some information of the bass part. In choro comping, we have something that we call what is the name? Obligation. Why? Because it's most of the bass part of choro is played in an improvised way, but there are some phrases of preparing or of ending, or that they are obligations. People will do together with you, or the other musicians are gonna expect the play of this phrase to continue their playing. So this books has written in a small in a smaller way this phrases. All right. And modern choro parts you won't find them for piano, and I recommend you play with the chords and understand the comping of the different styles in choro, and use the chords written, because you're gonna put more language than any other person that can produce something for you. Alright, you understand the harmony by yourself, not by another person. I recommend you take to read the modern choros, the chords and melody also. Alright, so I hope I have helped you in this process of finding material, books and sheets of Brazilian music. I agree with you, that's very difficult. And there are some published English published in English that are not well recommended. I always prefer the Brazilian sheets, because in many situations there are musicians that has this vocabulary. There are a lot of chords that we use in Brazilian music that the musicians doesn't they are not familiar with. For example, some inversions. We use inversions all the time in the different styles in bossa nova, and for example, I thought the song Wave of Tom Jobim's Wave. There are some inversions on the beach section, and in the real book, for example, they just use the 2/5s to ordinary 2/5s to put this harmony. So I recommend you to search for this Brazilian publications. They are more they can have more better information. All right. If you find any more and want to know about my opinion, just send me at the comments. It will be a pleasure to help you to play Brazilian music, and try to transform your journey in an easier journey with more pleasure, less difficult to find this. We have to, when we study Brazilian music, we have to work in a lot of different stuff, and when we are helped with somebody that creates some easiness to the process, I think the process it's better, it's more we have more pleasure to do this. All right, so that's it. I hope you have enjoyed this information. I'm here every day talking about the different aspects of how to play and improvise Brazilian in an authentic way. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'm here in Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you have friends that likes to play Brazilian music, they are researching for it, they are searching for information, share with them this video, and I'll be very happy to help you. And for me, it's very important to see the Brazilian music known in different parts of the world. We have really many treasures here, and it's important that this music, like jazz or to be known in the world, because it has a lot of good qualities. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and see you tomorrow for more lives and quick tips about the Brazilian accent improvisation. Bye bye.